This is not easy to get that in. Let's see. It's probably good. All right, now I'm going to go. Well, let me do this first. This way you guys can see I'm making Mumm-ra. There's all my reference. And get those comments up. Pop out chat. That's going to go all the way up here. Make it big. That way I can read it. And let me announce that I'm going live real quick. Oh, I can't do that from here. That's right. Okay. Well, we'll figure it out. All right. I don't know if anyone is watching yet, but I have to change that up there to live chat. Okay. Great. All right. We're doing it. Here is my workspace. Got drill bits out because I will need them eventually. Turn this off over here. Okay, that's turned off. All right, let's make us a Mumm-ra. I want the ancient Mumm-ra for Skeletor's Council. So, I have no idea if anyone's watching. So, if you are watching, just comment. I can see the comments. I've got them set up on a big TV nearby. This is the scale I want. This is your average scale height Motu figure. Obviously, the head is too small. But for a decrepit Mumm-ra, that's a little thin. But once I add his mummy wraps, I think he's going to thicken up quite a bit. So I need to work on his head, because Mumm-ra's head is not straight up and down like the Silver Surfer's. Mumm-ra's head is at a different angle. Let's see. Well, that just broke the ball off right there. This head is so tiny. Don't think I can use it for anything. In the garbage it goes. This neck stump, I think, will just get in the way. So I'm just going to cut it off with my nippers. No. My new nippers. Oh, my little nippy one. My snippy one. You know, I'm just cleaning this up, so that's not tough. But I think I'm also just going to sand his whole body. Just a little. So that the wrappings, when we get to that, will stick a little better. Just a little bit. Also, he's going to get different hands than this. So let's take his hands off. These hands don't rotate, they don't move, they don't do nothing. So we're going to get rid of them. Ah! Okay, Sorry. I think that's just what would happen if you cut someone's hands off. A lot of screaming, flailing about. Maybe not flailing about, because that would just send blood everywhere. Yeah. Right now, I'm just a guy in a shop talking to himself, I think. Boy, I hope I'm live. I think it looks like I am. I can see on the TV. It does look like I'm live. I don't need a bunch. I just want there to be a little bit of grip options. Okay, now instead of feeling really sleek, I've got a little bit of grab on there. That's good. Okay. Now, these are the hands I picked. I think these hands were from a Doctor Strange wizard, I think. I'm not sure. And I know that I want... Again, if you're... And I also have new feet for them. I have these feet. But they won't... They're just going to have to glue on. Maybe I can just cut this enough. Yeah, I'll cut this enough. And then I'll glue the old foot to the new foot. Just to make like a socket, almost. So now I have this little hingy part is still on. And I should be able to just attach the foot like that and then keep the motion of the foot. And I am watching comments here on YouTube, but it's just me. So, but they're on a big TV, so I can see your comments. So, if you're watching, please talk. I don't know if anyone's watching, and I won't know if anyone's watching. All right, that's pretty good. I think these will attach now. Let me drill this out. This is the post that I'm trying to fit in there. And this might be a boring live of me talking to myself. It's kind of at a weird time. Might be a little bit too early. But now is when I have the time to get this done. I think it's this second one here. 1/16, we'll call it. Boy. There we go. Bits are in there. Always put those back down, because I've stabbed myself on drills bits by accident in that rack before, quite a few times. let's grab soldering iron and get a hole started. So my drill bit doesn't wander. There we go. Whenever I sit down to start working, I plug in a soldering iron, have my hot glue gun plugged in and going. You know, why wait for those to heat up later? I'm probably going to use them. Okay, that's a little tight right now, but I'm going to throw a heat gun on this. It's pretty thin. It should heat up fast. Okay, now I have a new hand on that silver. Boy, that's rubbery now. It got warm. I have a new hand on that Silver Surfer, which should be able to twist in the socket, and the back and forth is maintained from inside the hand itself. So let's heat this one up and put the other one on. Okay. I like the heat gun. A lot of folks use hot water for stuff, but it's a habit from my other work to work dry up until you have to work wet. So I stay as dry as I can until it is necessary for me to work wet. Now I have these feet, which are lovely. These were purchased. I did not make those feet. Think I'm going to use a little bit of baking soda and super glue. That'll be my bond here. Let me grab the baking soda. Hey, John C. How's it going? They may be. I ordered before I started printing and sculpting my own stuff. I ordered a bunch, and yes, these were made for Skeletor. I got Skeletor and Beastman feet. But these are not ones I printed. These are ones that I purchased. And if I were a better human, I could tell you exactly who I bought it from. But I'm not. This is a new tub of baking soda, as my other one went to my office. I'm just transferring some to this little container so I can, you know, cut it out and stuff. But yeah, my comments are up on a big screen, so I can see anyone commenting, and I can respond. And that just helps me feel less like a weird dude talking to himself in his workshop while making toys. All right, that's plenty. Okay. I'll need a little spatula. Spatula. Okay. So this is, I have a Mumm-ra head that I made, but I've got to remake a post because obviously I cut his head post off. But let's handle these feet. Super glue. Baking soda helps super glue kick faster, and it's such a fine powder, it really absorbs the super glue well. So I want to have like a little bed of powder here. Let's just do one at a time. That's what we'll do. And I'm gonna, this is a pre-popped top. Great. Glasses are on, and this won't be easy for you guys to see. I'm sorry, but now that glue is being sucked down into the other baking soda. I do want that joint to stay mobile. So what I'm doing is I'm actually skeleton. Okay, this is complicated. In my world, right? So Skeletor has actually conquered other universes already through portals, or he will find a alternate reality of a different universe and conquer that. So this is Mumm-ra, and he's part of Skeletor's council. So he has taken over Mumm-ra's place and is now Mumm-ra is part of Skeletor's council. I don't know if that makes any sense or not, but that's why all of these guys are there. I just made a version of Genghis Rex from Dino Saucers. Mumm-ra. I've made a lot of the big bads. I'm working on a General Spidrax from Sectars. Haven't really worked him yet. Why setup so dirty? Well, it's not really dirt. This is paint. This is my painting board. So I do a lot of painting here. There's paint, and this is just from sanding. This is what work looks like. Yeah. It's not really dirt. It's work. All right, so let's get that other foot on. And you can work cleaner than this if you want to, but I'm fine with it. I guess it does look dirty. So I'll just paint. I do a lot of painting. This work is so much cleaner than my other work. With special effects stuff, it's like everything just makes dust. Same deal. Just going around the foot, and I'm gluing the foot to the baking soda underneath. And that baking soda is just sucking the glue right down. And it's kind of acting as a fast kick also. See if those go on fast. Okay. Okay. I now have feet. And I have hinging movable feet on this guy. I might have glued this one a little bit. Just have to work and get that moving. But he will now stand on his own pretty well. Perfect. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I like that they just right away made He-Man a bad guy. Like that's like round one. He-Man's out of the fight. That's the whole problem. So yeah, that's kind of fun. Yeah, so today, before, like, this is the project for the video. Before this, I'm editing a video. I did a figure last night. I'm finishing up. I did a calyx that I'm working on. So calyx here, he just started his paint process. So happy with how he's turning out. But yeah. Boy, they got me all upset saying my setup was dirty. This ain't too bad. I cleaned for you. How dare you? All right. So now I have to I need to figure out which size of head I want to do, too. I printed up 3 different sizes, I think. Hey, Jordan. Good to see you on. This head, boy, is that too big? His head is so low. It's down here in his shoulders. That means that his neck stump needs to be forward a little bit. I think this is the head. I think this smaller one. Hello, Jennifer. And I have some steel stick epoxy. Look, steel stick epoxy. And I will make a new head stump for this up here. That's one of the hardest things is figuring out scale all the time for this stuff. You know, if I'm printing a new head, I can't print just one. I've got to print like 4 just so I make sure that one's going to be the right scale. Okay. And I have reference up over here. So it's not like I'm flying blind. I have a lot of reference. Paramjeet? I don't know how to say your name, but thank you. I'm very glad you subscribed to my channel. That means you must like Masters of the Universe stuff. And I do have some exciting stuff happening. So I'm building this giant Castle just giant Snake Mountain. And I am actually building a giant Castle Grayskull too, but the Snake Mountain, and I'm doing it like kind of like cube storage almost, where each room is a cube or 2 cubes or 3 cubes. So I just got, hello, Jaden Heck. Jaden? Hi. So I just got all of my cubes except for one. This is going to be like 11 foot by 9 foot. It's going to be massive. I just got all of them in except for the center one. So I'll be able to start doing rooms again here soon. All right. So I know that the head is going to have to be around here somewhere. And I don't have any water nearby. You need water when you're working with epoxy. But I have a spray bottle that I can rob from. Okay. Ba-ba-ba-ba. And you need that in order to smooth this stuff out. That makes your world easier. Now, Mumm-ra's head looks like it's halfway down, so probably here is gonna be good. So hi everybody, I'm glad you guys are watching. I do Masters of the Universe stuff. That's what I mostly do. If I do that, yeah, he's hunched down pretty good, and I will actually build up back here also, and that'll pull the line of his shoulders up. So that'll make his head look like it's even further down. What I'm doing here is I'm doing almost like a little ball on the end of this, just with my sculpting tool. Right now this clay is still really soft, but it's going to firm up as it hardens. And, you know, there's a point where it's perfect to sculpt with. Right now it's still a little bit soft. And then this ball, I'll be able to secure inside of the head, just like a ball post that comes on most figures. You can see that from the side. See that little ball I've created there? That's enough. And now that is my Mumm-ra silhouette. That really has to cure. Yeah, and as this gets stiffer and stiffer, it gets, you know, it's easier to scribe lines and stuff in it, so easier to do a little bit of sculpting. There's no real good shots of him like super sideways, but I don't mind putting that little hump on his back because it's not going to stick up over the head. That's going to be how that sits. And I will lean him forward and then rock his torso back because this has a torso axis. And what am I doing now? I'm just thinking ahead, and I'm going to put lines in here as if this is mummy wrapped. And I'm doing that because eventually this will all be mummy wrapped, and if it's a little bit open, then at least I can paint those lines as if that's an under layer of wrapping. Just getting lines in here. And the mummy wrapping will bulk out his body in a good way to match up with this head. There you go. We're getting closer to Mumm-ra business. I am going to wallow this out a little bit here. So I have 3 Dremels set up, all right? This is my setup. I've got a Dremel sitting right here, which is a sander, rotary sander. Use that all the time. I have a Dremel set up over here. That is a grinder. That's what I'm about to use. And then I have one here, which is a little buzz saw. It just saves me the time of going back and forth. This is a hobby for me, but I'm in my old mask making shop. So it is kind of set up almost like I'm a business. Hello, Caroline Clark. I don't know if you guys are just finding me. I think they said if I did live vertical, then it would show up on shorts, and I guess some of you guys are just scrolling through shorts. But I'm an action figure dude here. That's what I do, yo. Mumm-ra, the ever-living. Yeah, good poses. Okay. This is an old Silver Surfer body, if you can't tell because it's silver. Now, what I do for heads is my pose. Hello, Hortensia Rodriguez. Hi. A lot of people pop on and say hi. They don't say anything else. That makes me a little sad. But hi. How about this? I'll say, how are you? And then you can tell me how you're doing. I have a big like TV over there, so I can actually see Adriana ZXZ. Hello. I'm Vaselining up a Mumm-ra head stump, like you do. And I put Vaseline on this so that it's going to have a mechanical bond under this, all right? And I'm putting hot glue in to the head, and then I'll settle this on. And that will give me, this is a flexible hot glue. It's not as hard as normal hot glue, just for the record. And this is a pretty low temp. I've got it set, well, I actually have it set on 310. I'm going to go back down to 265. Sea Toast 55, Halio, Blakey Phillips, hi. A lot of people pop on and say hi. I'd very much like to see a backup statement, like, because I say hi to you and I ask, how are you guys doing? How are things? My day is pretty awesome because I'm in my shop making a Mumm-ra. If you're making stuff, then your life is probably pretty good. Anything that oozes out, I can cut off, cut back. I'll let that dry. Adriana, thank you very kindly. Sea Toast, I do not know the Muffin Man. So what am I making? I'm making a Mumm-ra action figure from Thundercats. Could I buy one? Yes. But I don't like any of their scale, and there is a good 6-inch one out there, but it's $100. And why would I buy that for $100 when I can tear up a $10 action figure and use $90 worth of materials to make my own? Obviously, that's way cheaper, right? So, Adriana, do you watch my other channel or do I know you in real life? You're being very kind. And frankly, that always makes me nervous. Now, I have a little support here on his eye that did not come off. Okay, came off now. All right, but now we have, look, we have Mumm-ra's head on. We have new hands. We have new feet. All of this has kind of just been done. And I'm going to use, this is like a Warbler. This is Warbler from the ghetto. In the ghetto. I will use this as the mummy strings. But I want to paint this body first because this is such a good color. I'm only going to have to dry brush it. So, hi Jojo. This is my action figure channel, and I am working on a ancient Mumm-ra for my Masters of the Universe stuff. Skeletor is like in charge, and Mumm-ra is on his council. So I'm making a bunch of figures for Mumm-ra's council that most people would recognize. I make a lot of original characters, but this is a Mumm-ra. And now I think that this hot glue has dried enough. And look, now I have a posable, turnable head on that post that we sculpted on here. So yeah, now we can move his head around and get better poses. Great. But I want to, like I said, I want to paint this body. I want this. This is a silicone sheet. I want this for when I'm heating up my strips. Well, thanks, Jojo. Basically, I'm craft fiddling. That's what I'm doing. I'm fiddling with crafts. With craftises. I could go with a bigger brush because I'm just, I don't like that brush. It's very stiff. Should be softer than that. Let's see. Do I have a softer brush? I can go with my... I make a lot of action figures. It's not as hard as you'd think. I'm going to grab some paint. I'll probably do a dark blue body. Now I can just dry brush light blue. His skin tone is light blue, which is interesting because that's the same skin color as the Gar on Eternia. Gar are the race that Skeletor was from. There are humans and Gar on Eternia, and Rockman and all kinds of other stuff, but one of my first lovely comments was, why is it so dirty? Well, I'm making stuff, is what I said before, and that's true, but also, this is my palette. This is how I work and how I do things. I'm not worried about this being a super great full coat. I'm really worried about it. Add one drop of water to my paint. What I really want is I just want underneath those mummy wraps, I want something that isn't, I don't know, bright silver. You're like, that's not a mummy, that's a robot. So that's not what you don't want that. That's embarrassing. Yeah, at this rate, I'm kind of making like 3 or 4 action figures a week. Right now, I'm working my way through Skeletor's Council. Who do I have left on Skeletor's Council? I have General Spydrax. He is from a toy line called Sectars. Loved them when I was a kid. And I have to do Sawboss, who is from a toy and cartoon line called Wheeled Warriors. Love those. Theme song sounded like it was by Dokken. Wheeled Warriors. Yeah. Okay. This kind of, all right, so Mumm-ra, outside of his mummy wraps, looks like Gollum. In case you guys were wondering, now you know. But anyway, I was saying that Gar on Eternia, the race, have a blue skin tone. Mumm-ra has that same blue skin tone. And they have established that Thundercats actually does take place on Earth. I know they don't call it Earth, but it's in the far off future. CVH, congratulations. But this is Black History Month, not Pride Month. If you are black and gay, then great job. But if you're just gay, then I'm just going to treat you like everybody else until June rolls around. I won't treat you any worse. And I'm kind of nice to everybody, so there. So I happen to be straight. I'm the marriedest man you'll ever meet because I'm the happiest married man you'll ever meet. And if anyone is derogatory to, now it's kind of weird to just say, "Hey, I'm gay," but that's cool. It's okay. If anyone is mean about that or says impolite things, I will remove you from the chat. Just so you know. Jose, I don't know if you're talking to me or if I have inadvertently made a side grinder app. I don't know. But if you're talking to me, I am, let's see, I think I'm 46. I'm either 46 or I'm 47. Really, once you get to be about 35, it's not important and you really stop counting. Unless you were born on like a 5, because if you're born in 85 or 75, then it's pretty easy to know what your age is. You just count by 5s. But I was born in 76, and my birthday is in July. You can do that math. And I say that not because I don't want you to know how old I am. I say that because I don't want to do that math. I'm either 46 or 47. All right, so this is a decent little first coat. Malachi. I don't think they were asking me. Someone in the chat says, "I'm gay." Someone else said, "What, you're gay?" Which is kind of the poor English. They did not, Whiskey Monkey, because he was the only one left. And I was kind of getting to that before we had CVH's big coming out sentence. They established that Thundercats took place on Earth in the future. And Mumm-ra was living in this pyramid, and he was just the last one left. That's why he's Mumm-ra, the ever-living. So he should have just been a human. And he does look a little bit like a messed up human. Let's close our paint before we try to dry the rest of our paint. I'm just drying this paint up. This is actually going very fast. So this live might either be shorter or I just start wheeling in another figure to work on, which is quite possible. I've got pretty good coverage, but what I like to do now is bend those knees. See, now I have the knees happening and the elbows get really bent. And some people will take the figure all apart and they'll sand these joints. I don't do that. I'd rather just touch it up. Boy, that's a lot of work. But I'm not a perfectionist. I'm a good enoughist. Eventually, people will be able to see this whole display, but that is a few years down the road. And when they do, they're going to be about 10 feet away from everything. Because I don't trust them with my action figures. I don't know them. Yeah. Okay. Here we do. And in all honesty, a cloak is going to cover so much of this figure. All right. And I will do a light dry brush. Hello, Luis Pa. Louis Pa. Yeah, so this is going to be an ancient Mumm-ra to be on Skeletor's council because Skeletor picked him up. And since Skeletor is evil and Mumm-ra serves the ancient spirits of evil, I can just say that those ancient spirits of evil said, hey, you should work for Skeletor. This is your best path to success. All right. That is a oddly positioned and splayed out Mumm-ra. A little bit of warm wind here to help. All right, this guy can dry over here while I cut a few strips of this. Is a thermoforming plastic. It's like Warbler. It's not Warbler because it's cheap. And this will be his mummy wraps. I don't want them any longer than this piece. I think I'm going to cut this one in half. I want them to be contained on this because they tend to get sticky and they'll stick to the wood, but they won't stick to this here. So there you go. Let's cut some more. Just to get that right. Kind of a weird nub on there. But that's a real thick one. I need to get them thinner than that. The issue is that as I cut it, I can't see on this side of the scissors, and that's the real side for thickness. Okay, this will work. That's a nice thin one. Just have to hold my scissors gangster style, which is rotated to the side. That's right. Gangster style scissoring. Might not have known that was a thing. And I'm going to cut a curve in this so that my scissors don't get in the way. Now, as I come up, I don't have that piece getting in my way until later. All right, that is like 4 or 5 strips. So my favorite horror character is probably the Wolfman. Really love the Wolfman, which is probably why I like Beastman so much from Master of the Universe. Pumpkinhead is really cool. I like Pumpkinhead a lot. So Pumpkinhead, Wolfman, Creature from the Black Lagoon. I'm a little old school. Those weren't quite ones that I grew up with. I grew up with Jason, Freddy, Michael Myers, Leatherface, that kind of group, Chucky. But here we are. All right. So this guy is a state of dry that I call dry enough. And now I will make him a rap star. I also have to make him a staff. Remember, he has that nice staff. So that's coming too. John, am I able to make them? Yes, I'm able to make them. I can 3D print them. But also, let me see if I have a sheet here of it. They have the joints like where you can buy them. I don't know where they're at, but you can buy them. You just buy ball joints. You say what size they are, and they work great. So, we look for them. Okay, I don't see them right now, but you can buy them and they pop. They're on like a plastic sprue sheet, like a model kit, but it's all just ball joints. Oh, here they are. So there's a little, frame piece, and that goes on. And these are little ball joints. Ball joints. They're kind of fun. Yes, same creature. Revenge of the Creature, though, was all Ben Chapman. I don't think Riku Browning went for that. I don't think he did that one. After he was dropped in acid. I don't know basketball players very well, but I'm gonna say Magic Johnson or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. All right, so here's Mumm-ra. Like, that's kind of cool. He came together really fast on that body. This was all done live. So This is the thickest one. I'm going to do his waist with it. When you heat this up, it gets pliable and sticky. Which is why I have it sitting on a silicone pad. And this might be long. Yeah. So I want to hit that. Now that I hit it, that got sticky again, and that'll just stick down to itself and wrap around him pretty good. I think Servo Motor Supply sells them, but I just buy mine off Amazon, John. Okay. Let's heat this up. We'll give Mumm-ra a little modesty strip with that. So the head I sculpted in Blender, which is a computer program. I sculpted it and then I printed it on a 3D printer. So I did sculpt the head. My day job, I guess, is making like Halloween masks, big masks. So I've been teaching myself how to sculpt in Blender, and that's pretty good. I'm not huge on anime. Like, I just don't know a lot of it, but I did enjoy Vampire Hunter D when I was younger, so I'm going to say Vampire Hunter D. And now I know that these long ones cool down kind of fast, so I'm going to cut these in half. I'm going to work my way up each leg because the hands are going to be more visible and more prominent. So I want to practice kind of on the legs. So Vampire Hunter D was new when I was a kid because I'm 46, 47. All right, his feet are not wrapped in any of my reference. So I just have to start this on his ankles. And that's why I did a little bit bigger head on him, because I know that the wrapping will chunk him up a little. It'll thicken him. If his head was perfect proportions, then yeah. All right, I'm starting the wrap. See how that looks? That's nice. And now I've got that blue underneath. Mumm-ra's legs and arms are not wrapped very well anymore. His body is still pretty well wrapped, but his legs and arms are not. Here's another one. Let's get this guy on. The thinner they are, I think the faster they get hot. And the faster they cool down. It would kind of be nice if I could just wrap all of these individually. but this figure does not come apart in a way I like. So this will be Mumm-ra. This will be Mumm-ra, the ever living. And I don't know if you can tell, but you know I'm getting it wrapped up like a mummy now. You know, you always see the old Mumm-ra with the hood, so that's what this is. If you like action figure stuff, I do a lot of custom stuff, but I do some known things, especially if you know Master of the Universe. You'll see stuff that you recognize. I have another YouTube channel which is much bigger than this one. This is my hobby. And one of my work channels is Stilt Beast Studios. On that channel, I've got 140,000 subscribers. But thank you for subbing. I appreciate it. So my other channel is more Halloween decor, haunted house stuff, and latex mask making. That's what I do on my other channel. And many of the people watching now are subscribers on my other channel. I go live there on Wednesday nights. Well, no, I I go live on a third channel on Wednesday nights but that's Stilt Beast Live, so it's affiliated with the Stilt Beast Studios channel. Oh, if someone wants to, could they pop that into Translate and tell me what that person said? I would like to be nice to them and communicate, but I am not amazing. Very cool. I've done some fun stuff. I just like making things. So today I'm off work and I'm making things. Well, that could have gone better. Erica, I am currently turning this action figure into a mummy by wrapping little strips of Warbler around it to become his mummy wrapping. This is going to be a character called Mumm-ra from the Thundercats, who is an ancient mummy. He's a bad guy. I only do the bad guys. So what am I doing? I guess I'm customizing action figures. That's what I'm really doing. But just one. So I'm customizing action figure. And then while it's warm, I can still press it down and make this thinner so it doesn't bulk him out too much. Just like a knight. Looks like I'll need maybe 30 strips for him. Have to remember these thinner strips really don't need that much. But boy, do they cool down fast. They just get less sticky when they cool down. So, Zanotto, what kind of toys are you talking about? Is that that almost sounds a little dirty, but if you don't use it anymore, then I guess it's not. One must always be careful with me talking to strangers on YouTube. That is really thin, so that's going to be hot really fast. If I put that in the middle, that's a new process. Now this one can go this way. A few Rapidaps. This one was going to go the same direction because that just didn't cover enough. Thank you, Whiskey Monkey, for translating. I greatly appreciate that. I truly do. But yeah, this is coming out like a mummy. Like, this is getting there. Mumm-ra always has, like, loops and stuff that go around. He's falling apart, so... make sure I show that. Wish I had like a little heated plate that I could put them on. But then I think they would stick to it like crazy. It's taken 3 pieces of mummy wrappings, I should say, in order to do this lower calf to a level that I am okay with. That's good. You know what? I love toys. I would love to have any toys shipped to me. I'll find something to do with them. Any of the 80s action figures. Thundercats, Silverhawks, 80s, 90s. Ninja Turtles. Now what I'll do on his knee is I'll paint a stripe going across. If I really put one there, it would inhibit movement. So I will paint that stripe on. Now I have to cut some more. Yeah, so what I got done on that first round of cutting, that's not too bad. I know this is the more tedious part of the process, and you guys don't want to watch me sit here and cut strips, but this is what you have to do. If you're going to work in a shop, a lot of your time is going to be spent cleaning that shop. And you do some kind of a job like this, then you're probably going to be replicating one small part over and over again. I think mummy strips are like scale mail. Once you think you've made enough scales, make 5 times that amount. Because boy, does that take some material. Oh, that's very cool. I've made a few things out of those. I made a rat guy out of Leatherhead. He's one of the new Mutant Madness figures. And I made a pig man, a different pig man out of Bebop. Because at the time, there wasn't a big Masters of the Universe body. Now there's a bigger body that came out with the wrestlers, the Walmart exclusives. Right now, I'm trying to find Andre the Giant because that is a larger frame for a Motu figure, but it's a Walmart exclusive, and you can't find him in stores right now, and you can't order him anywhere online, so it's kind of a big pain in the butt. Walmart's distribution is crap. All right, these are too long. Now, I'll be honest with you. I got action figure stuff for Christmas too, but I assume that you are younger than me. No, I don't do much with Legos. When I was a kid, they were just like a bunch of bright colors, and you couldn't even get a set that was all one color. So I never got into them, and I have remained not into Legos. And now it's like there's Lego pieces where it's a windshield. Well, that just didn't exist when I was a kid. They were all rectangles. Here, you know what you get? You get rectangles. That's all you get. So when I was a kid, all Legos were customized because that's all there. It wasn't like a kit. So Ike, boy, what buck is it? This is a Silver Surfer from China, but it's an old Silver Surfer. You can still see some of the silver. I just did a quick like dark blue paint for underneath the mummy wraps because I like this color for the mummy wraps. I'll dry brush them lighter, but I like this as a base. So it's a Silver Surfer. I cut his head off. I made the hump out of 5-minute epoxy. This is a Mumm-ra head that I sculpted in Blender and 3D printed. These hands are from a Marvel Legends the first bad guy from Doctor Strange, who looked a little like a samurai dude, just a little. Yeah. So it's Silver Surfer, because I wanted the size to be right, and it was, this is a, and he's real uppity now, but this is a General Spydrax that I will be working on here shortly, and I want Mumm-ra a little shorter than them, so I want him to be right about 5 inches, and these guys are about 5 3/4. But this was a 6-inch Silver Surfer. Not really Sea Toast. I will take Marvel figures and turn them into Masters of the Universe figures, but I have not done the opposite yet. And frankly, Marvel makes every character you could possibly want, so... And I don't make any good guys. I only make bad guys. Kraven is probably one of my favorite Marvel characters. Kraven the Hunter. I like him a lot. And with his new movie, I'm sure there'll be some good figures out for him. And I'm going to push that in, and that will connect it. And then I'm going to have this just hanging down because Mumm-ra has all these little strips of wrapping just hanging off of him. So from the waist down, he's almost done, aside from some straps that will hang in through here. And I might as well do those now. And then I'll be able to say he is done. There we go. They don't stay hot long, so it's difficult to get a bunch done at once. So what I'm going to do is just that. And then I'm going to heat up these ends to make them sticky again once this kind of dries in that U shape. Okay, now that is just a loop that hangs, and I'll do one more. That way I'll have 4 of those. I don't think that's the best way to do it. I think I will end up doing it just all at once in one heat. I have to kind of pick this guy off of here because I want that loose. I don't want it pressed down. I don't want it to stop the legs from moving. Yeah. Now see, I have good leg movement. I also have that, just that little wrapping is coming undone. Mumm-ra's a rap star. Why do you think I switched from that metal tool to the paintbrush? Okay, so that is 2 loops on one side. That's good enough. I think that's nice and dense. And I can move on to this upper torso. Yeah. We good. We good. If you look at his head, it actually has little bandages already in the sculpt. So I should be able to pick those out with paint pretty easy. But I have to add a couple. He has loose ones that go under his chin kind of deal. He has ones that go under his chin and that hang down. So, hello, wife. Yeah?
Talking about needing to keep something hot.
Do you want to keep that alive is the
You
problem?
can have it. This is a hot plate.
Okay.
Would that work?
It may work. But I don't want to necessarily experiment with it right now in case of a fire or something. Who wants that on video? So set that right over there for me. Thank you, wife.
See if that works.
My wife has brought me a hot plate because she thinks that'll help, and I think it might too.
Well, yeah, especially if you're trying to keep something hot. You pretty much have to keep these.
This is Mumm-ra that I'm making, wife.
Looks great.
Thanks. Looks like that guy up there, kind of.
It does look good.
He'll get there. I'm real happy considering it turned out to be he started a Silver Surfer.
Is he gonna have the headpiece?
Yes, he'll have the hood and all. And he's got a few more, these things.
Maybe that hot plate, whatever. What is it that you need to keep hot?
These guys. See how stiff they are?
Yeah.
When you heat them up, they get real soft and sticky.
Okay.
So the soft is good. The sticky I worry about on the hot plate. Maybe I can treat it or put this down so that they just stay warm.
But we can experiment with it. And
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, just give it back.
Thank you. All right, do I want to do the chest first or do I want to do the arms first? I think I want to do his chest first because the bulkier the arms are, the harder it is to get into that chest. Right. Well, Tom, were you watching the live the other day where I literally set something on fire and had to drag it outside? That was fun. Hello, Snubber 282. I do not want to set anything on fire again. That was once per channel, I think, is plenty. I'm going to stay on this upper torso as I wrap. Okay. There's that. Yeah, fire happens. Exactly right. And you know what? Here's what's great about it. It was handled very well by my staff. We had 3 people there with me. Nobody freaked out. Like, okay, if that's on fire, I'll go open the door. Rue opened one door. Stacy opened the other door. Rue grabbed a fire extinguisher that was nearby. It really showed that we were ready for an incident, which is nice. That's something you do want to know. How will they react? And they did great. So this is going to be Mumm-ra, the ever-living, who is a Thundercats villain. I am making him for Skeletor's Council in my giant Snake Mountain build that I'm doing. And I'm actually building the dark side of Eternia. This is going to sound ridiculous, but my plan is to fill a 20-foot by 40-foot barn, basically, or building, I should say, with a train set. And instead of the normal train set, it's the dark side of Eternia. That's right, I have a cool corpse torso and an Uncle Owen prop. So this is a heat gun. It gets a little hotter than a hairdryer. And I use them all the time. I love me some heat guns. Mumm-ra is really coming along. That makes me very happy. Mumm-ra, the ever-living. Ancient spirits of evil, grant me the strength. No, I don't use a hairdryer on my hair, actually. I just let my hair dry. I've always had very fine hair, so it dries fast. Yeah, but that was a heat gun that you saw me using. Now I'm going around the arm and down right there. That looks good and leaves me those little untucked edges that Mumm-ra kind of has all over. Look at that nice weave that I'm getting right here. It looks good. Looks like I'm making a mummy basket. All right. So the same company that made Thundercats repeated it, and they did Silverhawks, which was, instead of part cat, they were part bird. They were part hawk. And Silverhawks was really nice. I enjoyed that cartoon quite a bit. And they had a villain, which was Monstar. And he had a chant the exact same way that Mumm-ra did. And he transformed the exact same way that Mumm-ra did. Really interesting. Oh, 008 Ches knows Sea Toast. Okay. Glad you guys could rekindle your friendship. Hello, Lindsay Burnham. All right, we're becoming a mummy. We're getting all mummified over here. All right, I'm going to do one more piece in here for that strippery strappery. Which I don't need a long one. Probably one even shorter than that. It was a romance. Well, that's lovely. Glad you guys both have good feelings. Well, I did wish you luck, Snubber. What I am making is I am making a Mumm-ra action figure for my action figure toys. I do a lot of action figure customizing. That's what this channel is about. So, just so happens that I needed a Mumm-ra for Skeletor's Council. That's cool. Paper dragons are fun. Like paper mache or just paper? Are they origami dragons? Yeah. Yeah, he's looking pretty good. Let's get these arms wrapped, kids. Hey, Ron. So far, things are going well. No fire. But it's early. Yeah, I have a bunch of reference up over here on that side of the room, and I'm looking at that constantly while I'm making this guy. So the only thing that I use latex for, oh, I just shook the whole world. Trying to get you guys set back up. So the only thing that I use latex for is I'll make like chest armor or something, and I'll make a little plaster mold for that because it's that easier to do. You know, it's just so fast to sculpt it in clay and stuff, you know. So this guy obviously needs more over here on his back. I jumped the gun. Lindsay, where can I see your paper dragons? I would love to see them. On Instagram, I am Vine Jungle Figure Factory. If you wanted to send me a message on there or send me pictures of your dragons, I would really love to see them. I'm a fan of all art. Ches, don't make it weird. Do I ever use wax? I use a clay for sculpting that is a wax-based clay on occasion. So I'll use a clay, again, that is a wax-based clay for sculpting. And then the advantage of that is that you can heat it up, and that's how you get it out of the mold, is you melt it out of the mold. I have a foundry set up. I haven't really used it yet or played with it, but I want to get into lost wax casting. And when I do, I will need to do that. So I've been trying to play with it a little bit. So the answer is no, I don't right now, but I will eventually. And I will have to do some cutting, of course, before I get to his arms. Okay. All right, so now I have, I don't know what Mr. Stevens means, Addison, but I would love to help you if that statement requires help of any kind. Okay, Ches. Oh, is that the channel name? Oh, wait, I guess I could just look up Lindsay later, but right now you are on my device, so I can't. Okay, so I have to set Mumm-ra down. I have to cut some more strippos. Nice. I really think I'm only going to need like 2 strips per arm because these are so long and the arms are, well, skinny. I think the proportions are working out pretty well as far as the head and the arm length and stuff. Silver Surfer body, custom sculpted and 3D printed head. Really enjoying the digital sculpting in Blender. I really am. Making a lot of stuff. I was looking for another head to sculpt the other day, and I sculpted a Pig Boy. Pig Boy was really only shown in the Master of the Universe movie because a kid won a contest to be in the movie. So they made up a Pig Boy character, and I sculpted that head, so now I'll be making a Pig Boy custom. I have to justify what I did. Although I think I'll make him older, make him Pigman. Or Pigman. Pigmund. That sounds fancy. It's like Sigmund, but it's Pigmund. Right. Okay. Pikmin. Yeah, Mumm-ra. He's so fun and spooky. I can't work with the whole strip all at once because it cools down too fast. So I'm cutting them in half. This is a Warbler-like plastic. It's a thermoform plastic. This stuff I got at Hobby Lobby. Maybe I bought it online, but one of those. Here is where I learned that I did cut too many strips. And I'll have to just paint here because that's going to get in the way of the arm movement if I do too much more up there on that shoulder. This is a thermoform plastic. It is like a material called Warbler. This is just a cheap version. This is Ghetto Warbler. It's a knockoff Warbler. It's lovely stuff. It's about as stiff as a credit card. And then you heat it up, it gets really soft. And then you can shape it, and it sticks to itself. So it's really nice. Use it a lot on action figures for making belts and things. See, and that made it soft again and sticky. So now it just sticks right to itself. That one I want hanging down like a little strip because he's not wound too tight. Right now I'm just doing his decrepit form. In all honesty, the 7-inch Super 7s Mumm-ra would fit in just fine with this line because he's supposed to get bigger. So, yeah. But also, I'm toying with a different idea that he no longer has a transformed form. Skeletor gave that power to one of his henchmen in order to keep Mumm-ra from being too powerful. And I think it'll be Merman because one of the ancient spirits of evil is gator-headed, and I think a upgraded, super transformed Merman with gator influence would be really cool. If you know the Silverhawks, then Monstar, his power where he transforms up, I was going to give that to Triclops. So then you have Triclops, but he's got the spikes, and his armor would be green instead of as red. But those are just ideas. Haven't gotten there yet. But I can do what I want because I'm stealing from all the forms. Just to make a fun little world. I've never tried stop motion. I know I don't have the patience for it. I'm a very fast guy. I don't think I could do it well. I really appreciate it. A lot of the Origins figures, a lot of guys will do stop motion with Origins figures, and it looks awesome. I really like it. I don't have a desire to do it because I know what it entails. and I don't enjoy any kind of a filming process. I like lives because they're so close to okay, you're done. You know, it's I don't have to do a lot of setup or editing or anything like that. I have probably 6 videos for this channel that are just waiting to be edited. I'll probably finish one tonight, but then and get it out. But I've got so many videos that I'm just backed up on. It is mummy time, Biscuit. We're making Mumm-ra, the ever-living, who is a Thundercats villain. So this one actually is going together pretty quick. So this guy will probably be start to finish, maybe 5 hours. Others, you know, can take a lot longer. It all depends on how involved they are and how much trouble it gives you. On this one, I had to cut the old hands off and drill out the hands for posts so that the hands would fit because these are not the original hands for this body. And I had to rebuild his feet. These aren't the feet that came on this body. So I had to change these 2 out, and I had to build the neck stump and add the head because this is not the head or neck stump that came with the body. So this one was a bit of work, but it was fast. So yeah, what did I start at? 5:05, something like that. So I'm 2 hours in, and I'm close to painting this figure. And then I got to make his cloak, but I'm hoping I can do that out of Worbla. Let's get this arm prepped and up. That way it's easy to wrap. Now you can destroy this stuff by mashing it a little too much if you're not careful. Okay, a little more on that arm. I like all the blue showing through. I'm so glad I painted him first. That would be so hard to get in there and paint all that. Emma, I am making an action figure. I'm making Mumm-ra, the ever-living, from Thundercats, his ancient decrepit form. And he looks like he's a mummy, so I am wrapping him in Worbla. I'm sorry to hear that, Snubber, unless you're waking up that early to do something fun, in which case, that's great. Like, you might wake up that early to go fishing. You might wake up that early to catch a flight, to go to a theme park or somewhere fun. So you could be getting up at 3 a.m. for a good reason. I won't just assume it's terrible. What is Vex? I don't know what a Vex competition is. Help me. Help me understand. I'm learnerating. Robotics. That's so cool. Um, I want to learn robotic stuff. I make. I'm on the other end. I make skins. I don't make the innards really. I can program a controller and whatnot, but okay. Boy, I'm on his head already. I do a few pieces on his head, and he's got one that hangs down on each side, so I'll put that on. And then he has, I built a little ledge. You probably can't see it. There's a little ledge right there to tuck a piece up under. He's got one that loops under his chin pretty low, so I'll do that one. Well, that sounds pretty cool. It's more robotics than I know and do. That's great. Don't stay up too late. Take this off here and make sure that this is out a little bit while it cools down. Okay. See, now that's hanging, and that's good. I do like Elvis. I like Elvis as a musician. I enjoy Elvis's music. My grandmother was a fan, and my sister was a fan when I was a kid. So I actually know a lot of Elvis, and I sing a lot of Elvis to myself. Okay, now see this here? That piece is sticking up quite a bit. It's proud. It's kind of high. So I'm going to heat up this tool. And now that's warm enough where I should be able to go in, heat it, and smooth it. And that just blends right into the head now. Hello, Alberto de la Cruz. Thank you for stopping by and saying hello. I want that to be that long. I can't say I'm a Michael Jackson fan. I mean, of course, he made good music. Could someone comment? I do not have an Elvis costume. I have, however, had to make a werewolf Elvis costume for a person in Canada. So, yeah. All right, we're back. Great. I had to hit a button on my phono. All right, so my little tabs came off here. I'll have to glue those on because I was fighting them when I put this piece on. So remember my super glue? I'm going to put a dab of super glue on there. Perfecto. Now I'm going to put... Okay. So now that one is glued on. And now I'll come over here and I'll glue this one on. I don't do well at things that are fiddly. Just because my hands aren't built for it. I've got like giant sausage fingers. So this is difficult holding those on. I've got to restart my computer, or not restart my computer, but I have to refresh because it still thinks I lost internet. But I'm very obviously back. Okay. I'm still here. I exist. It was a Silver Surfer. You are correct. Thank you. Thank you for helping me. All right. Okay. Looks like nothing's happening, but what's actually happening is I'm gluing my fingers to this figure's head. Aha, they're free. All right. So, long story short, I'm painting this guy now. Like, this is now in paint because he, the build on him is done. There will be a hood on top of his head, so a hood is going to cover a lot of this. This went very well, pretty fast. So let's get some paint together. And I will, just while I'm going to pick up paint, I'll just direct you over here. This is my streaming setup. You can see up there's the big TV, so I can read your comments. I've got two things of reference going, two monitors of reference, and that's just me running the stream down there. And over here is my, again, I used to do a lot of streaming from here, but not as much anymore. I'll use this for his flesh. And I need some black. Look, here's some black. And I need some white and some red. White and red. He's a man of few colors. Yes, the hood will be separate and removable. Hello, J Void and Cage. Hello, J Void, or should I say Cage? So I have to load this up with beverage before I paint, or else I'll get thirsty. You know how it is. Okay. You are 5, J Void or Cage. I guess this is an account for 2 people. So if you're 5, then this action figure design that I'm doing is, I don't know, 20 years older than you. Yeah, there used to be a lot of different camera angles, but now everything takes place right here, so it's pretty easy to just do it here. Hello, Night Killer 21. Hello. So, Night Killer has like 2 possible connotations. You could be Night Killer, like in the night you go out and you kill things. Or you could be like, well, I'm just trying to kill the night. I'm bored. Trying to, kill some time. I'm a Coke Zero fueled entity. That is true. Now for painting, I have these monstrosities when I get down to his face details and stuff. So, but right now, all I really need is some, almost like a little dry brush. Night Killer, you are 12. Oh, that's awesome. I am making action figures. I'm a 12-year-old on the inside. These are what I played with when I was 12, actually. Mumm-ra from Thundercats. I like pickles. You know what? I'm in a phase right now where I'm really enjoying eating fermented foods. Sauerkraut, pickles. I might even try kimchi. That, by the way, smells terrible. All right, so I put some paint out here, and I'm just getting a lot off of the brush so I can dry brush. And that'll help me. It'll help me. Because I don't want necessarily everything painted. I want some of that dark blue to show, but I want you to know that there's light blue in there too. So I'm almost trying to put on like a skeletal structure. Pickle sandwich. So the new Thundercats toys from Super 7, they would cost, they're like $50 right now because they're pretty popular. I don't really sell anything because right now I'm making these for myself. I will probably sell STL files for heads that I have sculpted down the road, but not right now. And you'll notice that I am working on his hands, his feet, his arms, little bits of him that show up through the wrapping. And I haven't started on his head yet because I don't know quite how this paint is reacting to the brush. I just want to make sure that before I just jump onto his head, my brush work is on point, the colors are right, how is the paint behaving today. Good night, Chris Foley. When you're dry brushing, you want to go across the detail, not along with the detail, so that you don't go down into all of the areas. You want to leave some of that dark blue down in those depths. And now, really, like Mumm-ra's coming out to me. If you look at his face now. So I'm in Texas. I am in the Dallas, Texas area. All right. Do a little more of that color. Hello, Ellie Cat. 67. Remember that I superglued this? Well, when the paint hit the superglue, it just killed that brush. That brush is dead. Long live the brush. All right, time to go with a different brush. So all of that work that I did getting to know the brush did not help me. Night Killer, that is awesome. What kind of art do you do? Yes, RIP that brush. I want to mix up a color like this in order to hit those everywhere I have to paint on. Probably the fumes from the glue insta-cured the paint is what probably happened. Because I think the glue was dry. It was just, there were still vapors. So this color is close, but I'm going to have to add a little white to it. We have an eclipse coming up in April, a big one, a big solar eclipse. I think I'm accidentally on top chat when I reset. Let me go change that to live chat because I'm missing some things. And I can't miss anything. I've got to make sure that everybody is being nice to everybody else. Top chat, live chat. There we go. Hello, OG IT girl or OG it girl. Hello, hello. All right. I'm mixing up this color for bandages. And it's going to be what I call close enough. I need one little tiny dollop of water. If you add water to your paint so that it doesn't, so it self levels. You want it to self level. You don't want it to build up a big thick pile. Okay. So you draw people and characters. Got it. And I want this brush pretty dry because the detail on this head of these wrappings is actually really fine. Too much paint would flood those areas, and then they would not be dry brushed. They would just be painted. But now that looks like you can kind of see bandages up there. This is an acrylic paint. And now when I'm painting the bandages on the exposed parts, I actually want to paint that. I don't want to dry brush that. I want those to be nice and full. See how well that blends in together? All right. Sorry, guys. When I paint detail, when I'm doing like detail work, I tend to get really quiet because I'm focusing. So I apologize if I'm letting this go quiet on me. There we go. Looks like his hand is wrapped up now. That's good. Thank you, Bright Blossom. That's very kind. The head is a 3D print. All the other parts are different action figure parts that I kind of put together. And I did that all live on the video, but that was much earlier. I started live about 5 o'clock. And I'm probably going to stop this live maybe 7:30, 8 o'clock. Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 7:20 p.m.
Okay. It'll be 8 o'clock when I stop this. I want the fingers to look like they're wrapped. Yeah, like that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. My time here was 7:20. All right, I'm going to do another coat on top of the head. I'm still dry brushing. Zach, I try to answer all comments. While I'm this is a little channel, okay? I have another channel with 135,000 subscribers, and on that one, I still answer every comment. We do lives on that. Well, on an associated channel, we do lives for that channel, and we still answer all of them. All right, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with how his head bandages look. I'm happy with his skin tones. So now I can go in and I can paint his teeth white. I can paint his eyes red. And I can do a little bit of detail work here. Well, Zach, that's very kind. I think this channel is like 650 subscribers right now. I'm headed towards 1,000. What I do is pretty niche, so I think it'll take a long time. I'm sure you could. My day job is making big monsters, so I make little monsters in my spare time. So let's talk about the face real quick. I've got to paint his teeth. I've got to paint his eyes. And really, that's all that he's going to get because he's pretty simple. But when you're doing this, the most important are going to be the eyes. So I need to paint his teeth first, and that way I'll figure out my control and stuff. He's from a toy line called Thundercats. This is Mumm-ra in his ancient form. A lot of folks know his big scary form. This is his ancient form. Okay, I have a brush here that I haven't even opened yet. That will give me the best point, I think. A little bit of black. Let me put on these monsters. And before I paint his eyes red, I need to go in and put down some black. So that way his red eyes will have a ring of black. And before I paint them red, I'm going to paint black. I'm going to paint white, on top of, I'm going to paint white on top of this black, but just where I'm going to put the red so that the red pops better. Okay, that's my black done. There's a Thundercats TV show. There's a bunch of cartoons, so they're around still. I'm going to mix a little bit of red and black to go inside the mouth. Okay. Okay. Did a little bit of that under the eyes too. Now I'm going to get my white onto my brush. TTV Zach, you are funny. I'm glad you are amused. So I found this brush company. They actually subscribe to my other channel, and then I always look up like new subscribers, and they had Ghost Brush is the company name, and they sell on eBay, and these are good little brushes, man. Yeah, I actually have a fine tip Sharpie for the black. A big monster might take about a week. Thank you, EXE, X. I don't know how to say it. I'm going to say X, okay? But thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Yeah, a big one might take a week. You know, it depends. Am I sculpting it and molding it, or am I working from an existing mold? Those are all things to consider. Now, I don't know if I'm on camera or not. I'm going to try and be on camera. But getting this right is a little more important than being on camera. Now, the black on the eyes is dry. I can paint white. As part of my normal process, I normally do black under the white because that gives me that black outline without me having to be real precise. I should say less precise, because you do have to maintain a degree of precision. And that's going to get red on top of that after this dries. I started making this EXE. I started making this at 5 o'clock. So I started this live at 5 o'clock, and I've gone from start to finish on this figure on the live. I'm going to go back in for another coat on the top teeth just to touch them. Yeah, I always, every time I paint the eyes white like that, part of me is like, just leave them because they look so good. But nope, you got to do it true to what the character is. And now I got a little bit of white paint in some spots where I didn't want it. Just going to clean up that lip with a little bit of this brown I made out of the red and black. I don't even know if you guys can see those little lines I'm doing. But that, I just watered down that paint. Well, Zach, that's very kind of you. I appreciate that. I'm waiting. I have to wait for my TV screen to catch up because I'm trying to show you guys his face. But it's a little difficult because of the camera not wanting to focus. So. All right, I am saying that the white on the eyes is dry enough. I can clean this brush off, get some red. All right, put my eyes down again. I enjoy working live. I enjoy having you guys in the shop. It's like you're here working with me, you know. Let's do this. There you go. Now you can see that pretty well. This was Silver Surfer. Like, that's what's crazy to me is like how much this guy has changed. And this cord is in my way. I'm going to unplug my phone for a minute, but it's plenty charged, so that's not a problem. Alexa, set a reminder in 5 minutes to plug in my phone.
Okay, I'll remind you in 5 minutes.
Again, detail. I get quiet when I'm doing details, so I'm very sorry. That's a good red eye. I'm going to try his cape out of fabric, and then I'm going to try his cape out of Warbler, and I'll just see which one I like better. You know. I don't really like soft goods on action figures too much. I think that often they detract more because of the pattern is so big. Or the texture is big. Okay, I went a little crazy with the red there. A little bit in his mouth for a tongue. Some tongue action in for Mumm-ra. Well, if a girl is pretty, then she can get a lot of followers just sitting there listening to something. I'm an old fat white dude, so I have to be talented. I'm not saying that I am, but I am practicing all the time so I can be better at my craft. I did mess up. If you look close at his eye, I got a little red where I want the black. So now I'm cleaning off. Every step is insurance. So I keep doing work that is insurance for the next step and to make sure it goes well. So while I did do the red, I screwed up the black. And now I need to go back in and just fix the black. But I'd rather just go in and fix that black rather than try to line the whole eye again. And now I fixed it. So this is Mumm-ra without his coat on. You know what? I'm going to do his fingernails and toenails black too, because they are black in the show. Okay, toenails are set. And it might look like his fingernail is poking through the bandages. That's fine. I'd imagine that Mumm-ra has sharp toenails.
Alan, here is your reminder. Plug in my phone.
I will. Alexa, stop. Okay, now the fingernails are black. Toenails are black. The bandages are done. Like, this is Mumm-ra. This is Mumm-ra without his coat, without his cape. He has a red, like, cape that he wears. So I'm going to take a break. I'm going to stop. And then I'm going to work on his coat. But I think this is long enough for this live. Almost 3 hours. But look at what we made. We made this, guys. We did this together. Yes, this is actually black Warbler right here. This is the same stuff, but in black. So it does come in different colors. Just want to show you guys Mumm-ra. You guys are awesome for hanging out. He-Man always says, you know, I have the power. And I say on this channel, you have the power to make whatever you want. You can make whatever you want. It's your world. Make what you want for it. These are my zoomy glasses. I have a light on them too. But you guys are awesome. Thank you for watching. And those who subscribe, thanks for subscribing. And I appreciate you. I'll be on again next Sunday for sure. And I'll post a few videos this week on the channel. Bye.